will grow the economy, and that family you're talking about in Youngstown, Ohio, will benefit by the growth. That, you know, a rising tide lifts all boats. What do you make of his argument?
As I said, it's a canard. I mean, it's baseless. We were here. I was in Congress in 2003. President Bush said he was going to do the same thing. He was going to cut taxes for the wealthiest people in the country, and that was somehow going to trickle down to the communities that have been left behind by globalization. That decade had the slowest growth of any decade going all the way back to the Great Depression, and it ended in an economic collapse in 2007, 8, 9 that we are still in some ways digging our way out of. That economic theory is a joke. It just doesn't work. There's absolutely no evidence that supply-side economic works. You have to have investments back into the people of the country. What supply-side economics has done is it's not only concentrated wealth, but it's concentrated opportunity. So people in many large swaths of the United States lack the opportunity to work their way out of their current economic situation or have more stability in the situation that they're currently in. That's the problem with this economic system. First and foremost, it doesn't work, and the wealthiest people in the country, and we don't hate them because they're wealthy, but we can't afford to go to China and borrow $2.3 trillion to not reinvest back into the country, but to give to the wealthiest people. This economic theory just doesn't work.
Congressman Gene Robinson here. So what's...
Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio. Congressman, always good to see you, sir. We just heard a little bit of your impassioned speech on the floor of the House yesterday about this $1.5 trillion tax cut passed by Republicans in the House. You said this is a canard. This economic philosophy stinks. It doesn't work. It hammers working class people. The only place this is going to create a job is in Beijing, China. What would this plan, if it passes through the Senate, mean to a family working in Youngstown, Ohio, for example, in your district?
Well, they're each going to be saddled with about $20,000 in debt. I mean, there's two big winners here, Willie. It's corporate America that has been doing really, really well over the last few years. Profits are up. And the Chinese government, because it's $1.5 trillion, but then we borrow that with interest over 10 years. It's going to be more like $2.3 trillion that we will borrow primarily from the Chinese and maybe the Saudi Arabians. That's debt that's going to go on to the family in Akron, Ohio, or in Youngstown, Ohio. They're going to be forced to pay it. All the while, the benefits for corporate America with the corporate tax, for example, is made permanent. And all of any slight benefit that may go to a working class family is gone after just a year or two, and millions of American working class families are going to see a tax increase. And if you look at the deductions, for example, student loan deduction, gone. Medical health care deduction for health care costs, gone. If you're a graduate student, you're going to see three.
What's the recourse now? It got through the House. It's going to come up in the Senate. What can Democrats do, and especially Democrats in the House? I mean, you guys lost, basically. How are you going to affect what happens going forward?
Well, I think you got to get the message out to put heat on those 3, 4, 5 senators that may be swing votes for this. And I think talking about borrowing this money to a Bob Corker. You hope you're appealing to a Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake, clearly, when I got to Congress, he was the most conservative guy in Congress. Now they're running him out of the party. But I actually think he has a lot of integrity when it comes to issues about balancing the budget and about debt and deficits. And if he knows that this is going to be 100 to 400% increase in your tax bill, and as I said on the speech on the House floor, the salt in the wound is that they keep the deduction that allows a corporation to deduct the expenses and write off the expenses for moving jobs from the United States to other countries. In this day and age, after what President Trump campaigned on in places like Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, this is a joke that they would keep that in there. And, you know, the American people are finding out the true colors of this president. And I will tell you, last week, when I was back home and did a lot of events over Veterans Day, The shine's off the apple with President Trump. A lot of people are having buyer's remorse. A lot of working class people that I met who were Democrats, crossed over, voted for Trump, are having buyer's remorse. And I think as they see this tax cut unfold, it's going to be even more so.
So, Congressman, as you listen to your colleague, Paul Ryan, talk through and defend this bill, he says, basically gives the argument for supply-side economics, that this will grow the economy, and that family you're talking about in Youngstown, Ohio, will benefit by the growth, that, you know, a rising tide lifts all boats. What do you make of his argument?
As I said, it's a canard. I mean, it's baseless. We were here, I was in Congress in 2003. President Bush said he was going to do the same thing. He was going to cut taxes for the wealthiest people in the country, and that was somehow going to trickle down to the communities that have been left behind by globalization. That decade had the slowest growth of any decade going all the way back to the Great Depression, and it ended in an economic collapse in 2007. We're hearing a lot about the United States Congress. This is something that happens all over the country, in communities all over the country, and it needs to be dealt with in a very, very serious way. And, you know, we just kudos to these women for having the courage to step up. And Mika, kudos to you for really providing a lot of support for them as they speak up. But let's remember, this isn't just in the halls of Congress or in the most powerful places in Hollywood. This is happening everywhere in the country.
Congressman Tim Ryan, thank you very much for being on the show this morning.
Thanks, Congressman.
And coming up, NBC News learns about a property in Panama bearing Donald Trump's name that insiders claim may have attracted dirty money. Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel joins the conversation next.